Hi, I'm Dave Cut, and you're watching another Comic Chat. What's up, guys? Back again today with another short story from the Deadpool number 1000 issue. So this is The Appetite for Destruction. And it starts out with Deadpool perched on top of a building looking for someone. And no one's seen Scamperdink, Hornfinkel, Bandersnatch the Third for 5 days, which is hard to believe, all things considered. And as Deadpool makes his way to a building, we see that Scamperdink's mom sent him to this fatty school, and he never came home. And Lady Feederly suspects he never left. She suspects foul play. And as Deadpool calls out to whoever's in charge here, we see a giant woman coming out, eating. And she tells Deadpool that she feels his pain, that she too has lived a sorrow-sized life in the past, and that she was still grossly overweight, as Deadpool is now. Deadpool just agrees, saying he's a whale. And she says, "You've been eating your feelings. Your body swells with dependency's delight." And Deadpool says, yeah, ho-hos do soothe his darkness, but she throws a switch and a trap door opens up under Deadpool, causing him to fall down into this chair where other people are strapped up too. And then they hook Deadpool up with the feeder, one of ranch, one of nachos, with 2 straws going in his mouth, as they start a conveyor belt shoveling tons of hamburgers into Deadpool's mouth at the same time. And this goes on for 4 months. And as we can see, Deadpool turns into FatPool as he beckons to his capturers, saying that he's all out of nacho cheese. We see the big lady from before walk in, saying this one is ready. And as they start taking one of the other prisoners, Deadpool recognizes him as Scamperdink Hornfinkel Bandersnatch the Third, but he struggles to get his sword to save the boy as he finally gets it with maximum effort. He says, "Nothing is beyond my reach. I'm a champion." But as he leaps from his chair in action, going to save the boy, he falls and farts and starts thinking of food. But then he remembers he has that hat that has the nacho cheese and the ranch, and that's good enough for him, and he's off to save the boy. As we can see, the captors taking the boy to the top of this machine, Deadpool finally figures out what this is. This is the Vampire's Delight Frozen Diet Food Factory. So these are all vampires, and this is how they are getting their food. But as Deadpool tries to climb up the ladder to save him, the ladder snaps, causing all of them to fall down. And Deadpool, realizing that they're all surrounded and this may be over, he says, or maybe not, and bends over and says, "Yo quiero fourth meal power," before letting loose the most deadly fart that kills all the vampires in the room. All of them. Crazy. And as the vampires go back to the boss lady, telling them that they have a red alert, she just tells them if there's another clog in the grinder, that anyone who cleans it up can eat whatever they find. But Deadpool bursts through the door, demanding a refund. And she says, anyone who kills Deadpool can have a blistery bite TV dinner. And Deadpool tells them all, you don't have to only eat what this lady gives you. She's starving y'all nearly to death. And that's just un-American. Good men have fought terrible wars so that boys like you could have cham dingers, rolled toasty pops, pingers, and hot butter cheese. Food is our right, our heritage. But the boss lady says they need her to starve them. They hunger for it. If they grew plump again, no one in that vampire scene would show them any respect. But Deadpool stops her right there and tells everyone that he thinks that that's social levering. That's the kind a socialist would use on good folks to dust their minds with the cloudy logic of evolution. He didn't blow his ding-a-ling off in the jungle war of Contra for this shamalama doo-doo thing. And then he questions them. Are you guys going to take this, or are you going to kill and eat this angsty pastry? Then we cut to Scamperdink and Fatpool running away. As Scamperdink doesn't understand what happens, Fatpool tells him it was justice. Servants eating their masters, good conquering evil. But Scamperdink tells him that all this running is kind of starting to hurt his heart, and Deadpool agrees. But they find some scooters, some scoots to get away on. And on that day, Deadpool did put an end to all the horror, all the sadness, all the pain. He turned the light of truth and freedom onto the dark pit, and the demons of oppression recoiled. And as we see him scooting off to McDonald's, one man who refused to give up, who refused to give an inch, a hero who would stand for all of us, fueled by a courage, a sausage patty, fresh egg, and English McMuffin, provided he made it before 10. By God, he did. He did. The end. And that's the story of FatPool. Thanks for tuning in, guys, and until next one.